All right, so we live. We live. All right, so Shalom. Hey,
Shalom.
let's get. Hey, let me just pour my Claudius Salakia. Let's handle this here. All right. Sorry for that. Salakia for that. All right, so you hearing man everything, right?
Khan.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, I know if Kyle them come on as well, it ain't nobody taking in as yet.
Yeah.
You know viewers as yet, but all right. All right, so let we start to do we thing now. Let me start to do we thing.
There you roll.
Yeah. All right. So first and foremost, Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai,
Khan.
Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. All right. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well.
Yes.
All right.
Khan.
Peace, blessing, salutations unto the brothers who preaching, teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth. We scandalize and the freedom to do so no more than ever for the truth. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites who looks like the other nations, but are Israel through their forefatherly lineage. All right. And shalom unto the very few but faithful Akawats. All right, which is the sisters. So the name of this lesson, this live stream here is the evil agenda of the elites. All right, the evil agenda of the elites, because hey, the elites and them, they have a serious agenda, a wicked agenda. All right,
Khan.
with you can give me this, you can break down this word for me, Yashalang, you can pick it get um 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 dystopia or dystopian.
Salakia. Hold 1 second. Hold one
Yeah,
second.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia. Dystopia.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, dystopian.
This phone doesn't allow me to get into meanings. Hold 1 second.
Serious?
Yeah. That's, see if I borrow another phone there.
Oh,
Try some.
I hope Makaza could reach. I think he know reach home, man. I think he tell me he know reach home. He know go. Someone wanted it too.
Oh, Khan.
Yeah.
Alright, let's let this phone log up there. And we go see.
All right. All right. So by the time we could just expound a bit. So yeah, they have a serious agenda. We know through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, because he gave us that eye salve,
Khan.
to see what these elites really has in store for the whole world at that.
Khan. You know,
You know?
it's
Yeah, go ahead now. See what else, you know.
it's a whole orchestrated plot, orchestrated plan. You know, and that's another word to go into as well. Orchestrating. You know.
Can.
Let me see now if this thing will work here. All right.
We getting through?
So far, so good. Let me see.
All right. All praises for that.
All right. So I have the meaning of dystopia here from Google, right? It's an imagined state or society in which there is great suffering or injustice, typically one that is totalitarian or post-apocalyptic.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Can. And this is what is transpiring, right, as we speak, you know, this is what transpiring right now with this whole situation here, because they're all about a totalitarian, right, one world order, right? No, to the point now where and it's not now, it's been happening long time, you know, but where the private sector, you know, these conglomerates and what have you, you know, it merging, it becoming one with government. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead now.
Because you know it's important. Yeah, it's very important to understand because you know the private and the public always been linked. You know, because most of the privately owned multinationals are talking about the major 147 corporations of the world. You know, are owned by a small circle of elite bankers. You know, called the Illuminati or Esau Edom, the elite of Esau Edom. You know, and they, as we're going to go through later on, you know, from the book Satan the Angel Exposed to, you know, they are the real shadow government. You know, so the government that you see on the outside, you know, they're just the puppets on strings being pulled by this global elite. You know, of them, but it's like those puppet shows, all right. You know, you see the puppets on the screen, the light on them, right? But back in the shadows, up on top, you are the real master, the real puppet master up there, right? Pulling the strings.
Yeah,
you know?
pulling the strings.
Yeah, in the shadow.
Can.
You know?
So let me start with this. We're start with one or two scriptures then and you know get more into it. All right, so bring out
we're gonna get there.
Bring out Job 9 and 24.
Can.
Baba Kasha.
We bring that out one time. This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. It reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked." Right? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
That's not okay. Hold on.
So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, you know. We wait for the brother to come back on.
Yeah.
So
let me read it over again. Salakia about that.
This Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Not where and who is he?
Right? So the scripture say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and we all know who is the wicked according to scripture.
All
right, which is Esau Edom. The scripture specifically says that Esau Edom, all right, is the wicked. All right. because what is taking place now, all right? What is taking place now, where these conglomerates and what have you merging with the government, all right? Merging with the government is that they bringing in, they are the ones, as we already know, pulling the strings. But this here we're seeing here is actually the manifestating stages of this whole beast system coming in into its full effect where the new world order is concerned.
Gone. Yeah, that what we see now, that we're witnessing. Gone. Yeah. That's exactly what we're witnessing.
All right, because a lot of the policy makings, because even have it here in Trinidad, all right, in Babylon, a lot in the policy makings, all right, is a lot of the bills that is being pushed and what have you. These bills were actually orchestrated by these corporations. Tell me something. See if you could type up see if I could get this thing here, AFLAC, AFLAC. Sorry, Howard and them in on the I wonder who is that there, boy. Like post up a comment, let me know who is that there now.
AFL.
So what? FL no AFLAC.
AFLAC. When I get in
AFLAC. No, it's not really a meaning now. It's not really a meaning. It's oh gosh.
Acronym.
Is what going on. They are is a whole organization make up with a lot in these multi-billion-dollar corporations. You know, see if you could get any information on it.
Let me know if is it the American Family Life Assurance Company?
I'm not too no.
No.
Where else you getting?
Hold a sec. Let's see if I could pull this up here.
I've seen one post, two viewing.
All right.
If all you could let me know who you all are, Tawada, much appreciated. And if it's Karatazal, if it's Kayal.
Again, much on this. They're talking about policy holders.
Policy what? Go ahead.
For policy holders, and it look like some supplemental insurance. They saying well, the most thing I'm getting is the American Family Life Assurance Company. That's what they say it stands for. They have a net income of 3.3 billion 2019.
All right. All right. See if you could tell me. See if you could find out what corporations belong to AFLAC. See if you could at least get that one. Corporations that belong to AFLAC. Or member corporations.
Let me see if they have anything here.
You getting anything?
Company profile and news, no, not really. Or company.
The pitch, the hiding. All
Yeah,
right.
hiding, probably
Well,
hiding.
yeah.
That was the strength anyway, secrecy.
Your secrecy, can't.
Yeah,
Can't. Just like we was talking about Sunday going. All right. So, AFLAC is organization that it's made up of a lot of corporation, multi-billion corporation businesses, you know. Some of your biggest brands, you know, like Colgate and Coca-Cola and what have you, right? They belong to AFLAC. All right. Now, AFLAC with these corporations that is propping it up, all right, they make a lot of policies, all right. They are the ones that help get a lot of bills to be passed to put into law, all right. Plus they have right, correct is right, and plus they have what do you call it again? A serious influence within the prison system, because you know the prison system in Babylon is actually privately owned, privately run.
Yeah,
all right. But what I'm saying is, you're seeing where just by simple AFLAC alone, right, how much influence that they has within your so-called government. All right, because they are the ones that make the policies and set the standards and what have you. All right, not the government. All right, they are the ones that does these things. But starting with the real upper echelons, which is the elites, all right, the banking elites and what have you. All right, so the situation here, we seeing what taking place here, because these now you have Facebook. This is how far it reached to now. You have like Facebook, Google, Twitter, Apple, you know, these major multi-billion dollar corporations, all right, they now, as I see, they're merging with the government, and with that social media and what have you, you know, and these things, they being able to have a lot of influence within the government and influence within this whole system that is being set up. All right, because you need to have that in order to make it easier for you for this new digital system, you know, with the MOTB and what have you, to come into play. You understand what I'm showing you?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So let me get some more scriptures now. We rant enough.
Well,
we rant enough. Where are they?
We're now talking about laws and righteous decrees. So I can bring Isaiah 10. Let's bring Isaiah 10 and 1 and say, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write deviousness which they are prescribed. All right. So
prescribed. Right? If you are prescribed, they write it before.
Right? Written down, yeah. Correct.
Right, written down. It was already written down before, but they just wait for the time, all right, for them to put things in place. All right.
You know.
Shalom, Yabashim Yashai Barakata.
Shalom. Let me
I better only comment board, but they say nobody not viewing. See how this go?
Well,
say what?
these devils, you know,
Gone.
these devils, man. We'll continue. Isaiah 10:2, it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless, you know. And of course, it talking about Jake there, all right, you know, because
Shalom, Dayam. Karatazade.
Shalom,
Shalom.
you know, yeah, you know, so they talking about Jake here, all right, the poor of my people, right, you know, because basically they taken away any of the so-called unalienable rights, you know, and the unalienable rights really going into rights that not supposed to be able to be taken away. All right, but we see the draconian laws, you know, every day, you know, you keep on a simple thing as going to the beach, you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, you can no longer do that. All right. You can if they catch you by a river, all right, which you know in ancient times, you know, people drank from wells and rivers and you know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. All right. You know, so there's a stage that reaching here and it's only going to get worse from here on on. All right. You know, of course, we know that we were never free in the first place, and we were always under the draconian laws, because things like the birth certificate, you know, and these other documents like the ID card, the driver's permit, these things exist. All right, these things are real, you know, which make us what, slaves to the system, slaves to Esau Edom right now. Right, and slaves to the elites, you know, who own all these major corporations and control the governments, you know. So all around, it's just grievousness, you know, it's just wickedness. As the scripture say, when the wicked are in power, the people mourn, you know.
Bring it out now, that Proverbs 29. Let me see if I can bring it out. Proverbs 29 and 1.
Yeah.
All right, Proverbs 29 and 1, it reads, yes, now. Proverbs 29 and 2, Salakia, Proverbs 29 and 2, it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. All right? And this is what's taking place right now. The people, they are going to be in a state of mourning, all right? Because when this whole situation reached a peak, reached a height, and they really get to see that they have been deceived. All right? They really get to see that they have been deceived. They are going to be in that mourning state, you know, in that state of sorrowfulness. All right? You know, because the elites, by all means, they mean that they must get this new world order and have it under a dystopian I just say a dystopian nightmare, because that way it is a nightmare. All right? Because as I said just now, you know, but them coming into this with them merging with the government. You see, all right, they come like this. Like for instance, what I call it, Ansamakal. These devils, these demons. All right, look what going on with them. They're buying up a lot of businesses, right? Right, so everything is coming under one umbrella.
And in Trinidad, you're right on your point, because there are two major conglomerates that in Trinidad and in the region, you know, is Ansamakal and Massey.
All right,
you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Right. They gathering up everything, right?
You can.
Good. And also, for Ansamakal, we don't know who owns Ansamakal, and we don't know these are the people who really having the say within the country, right?
Correct.
The Sabgas and whatnot, the Sabgas and the Abuds and whatnot. All right. Now, what is that doing? Because the Sabgas and them, they best believe they're taking they taking orders the same way from the Rothschilds and whatnot. All right.
Correct.
So
Correct.
with that doing, what it is making it easier, all right, to help bring in this digital currency, the central bank digital currency, which will be the Karagma, all right, the MOTB.
Done.
All right. This is I go into Proverbs 1.
Go ahead.
I go into Proverbs 1 and verse 8. All right. It reads, "My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck." Verse 10, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." Now, how the sinners is enticing you, right? Which is these elites, how they are enticing you. You seeing Rowley done enticing you already with the e-identity. All right.
They're telling you. They're telling you. Drink them waters and everything will go back to normal. You know, everything will go smooth, man. You know.
See, but it looking like Big Brother Makaza. Right, post up Revelation 12 and 12. They can't because the early and true there is going to come down with great wrath, you know. It is going to come down with great wrath. But go ahead and see what you were saying now. I want to.
The point I'm just making is that you know, the promises that they're making, you know, are lies. You know, that's why they say, well, the forger lie. They say, drink them waters, you know, everything will go back to normal. You know, so-called normal. Right? You'll get to go back on the beach. You know, you'll get to go back and play your wicked carnival. All right. You know, you won't have no more curfew. All right. These are the lies that this devil, you know,
enticing you.
Enticing you. To do what? For your own death. You know?
You're being enticed.
You know, it's the same thing. These sheikhs, that's why Yahweh Yahushai, that's why Yahushai said, saying in John 8:44, you as your father, the devil, you know, a liar from the beginning. Right? Because these sheikhs, you know, they perfect in the art of lying like their father Esau. You know, these sheikhs. Right?
So I'm continuing.
Go ahead.
All right. "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." All right. Because there is going to that MOTB, you know, that charagma, it is going to be enticing. All right. It is going to be enticing because when you have no food in your house, your children crying, all right, your belly burning, or to satisfy whatever needs you need to be satisfied with, all right. This thing is going to be an enticement. It is going to be a temptation.
That's the temptation. Right? Come up with the world, yeah.
Because remember, you cannot do no commercial. You cannot do no business, no nothing without that. All right, you can't do nothing without that. You can't buy. You can't sell. All right. So I'm continuing. Verse 11, "If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us look privily for the innocent without a cause." All right. Who is the innocent? Well, this is the innocent starting with the children of Israel first, but the innocent goes into the ones, you know, who illiterate to the fact. Is illiterate, boy? Is it
ignorant?
Illiterate me? Ignorant, too ignorant to the fact. Ignorant, yeah, right. That's the word I want to use. So, ignorant to the fact. All right? Because they don't know. They don't know what this whole situation is about and what has befallen them. All right? a lot of them, they choose to do not know.
Correct.
All right. So as it say, all right, all right. If they say, "Come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily." All right, let us lurk privily. Right. That go back to the same Isaiah 64, Psalm 64. Let's see how quick I can get it. Just bear with me. Psalm 64, and 4, where they say, Psalm 64 and 4, where they say that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. All right. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. All right. They say, who shall see them? All right. And this is what they're doing. They're lurking. All right. And the setting the traps. All right. Privily. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it reads, verse 12, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. All right. When they say let us swallow them down to the grave, you know, let us conquer them, let us entrap them, let us enslave them, let us
destroy them.
Yeah, let us have them being subjected. All right, unto us.
And that just fits in. Yeah, that just fits in with Esau Edom, because the scripture say Esau is as death. You know, he's as death. Which is evident now more than ever. You know, although the full, even now, in respect to these waters, although the full story ain't come out yet. All right, when the full story and the level of death you break out, as you were saying earlier, you know, the 2/3 gonna rebel. They're gonna rebel. They're gonna be mass rebellion. Right? That's why when you go in 2nd Ezra 15, you know, it talk about all these wars and rioting. All right. And the sword and the own power standing in the own thing standing in the power of the hand, because at the end of the day, it's for those of them who survive, you know, they're gonna be really riled up. Right?
I'm gonna read this quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this quick from Machazaya before I go back to the scripture. It reads, though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, all right, which is what? Bringing everybody as so-called one, you know, and having all the riches to himself, and getting that new world order, that crown jewel that he want, getting to chip everybody. All right. He may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. Because this is what they do, you know, they take away all the gold, all the silver. Because going into that when I finish with the scripture here, all right, they take away all the gold, all the silver, everything, all right, and have it for themselves in the Bank of England and in the Fort Knox and what have you, all right. But Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is going to make you lose that, all right. So continue on the scripture. It reads, verse 13, Proverbs 1 and 13. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. All right, robbing the nations. All right, because this whole thing here, what they're doing, and with the way of doing commerce and trade and the Federal Reserve notes and all these things is a bunch of fraudry. You know?
Yeah, it's a forgery and it's a false balance as well. It's a false balance. Yeah, in fact, remember get that scripture.
Yeah.
Oops. It says Proverbs 11 and verse 2. A false balance is abomination to the Lord. But a just weight is his delight. You know? I know that whole system, that whole monetary system is a big Ponzi scheme, right? And it's very wicked and unfair for all the other members of the world, you know, based on the when you go back to the this 1944, when they make this when they decided to make the US dollar the reserve currency,
Khan.
Which put everybody else at a big disadvantage. All right, but Babylon, obviously was above and had a major head start over the other nations. All right, for them to buy US currency in order to procure goods. All right, and even when they sold to America, all right, what basically they had to buy back the IOUs, which are bonds. All right, basically that's what they did. So they were fueling the Ponzi scheme, right? Just to keep the Ponzi scheme of the elites, which is the Federal Reserve, right, and the US Treasury alive. All right. And this is really what was going on for all those decades. All right. Now we're reaching the forefront now, the end of kicking the can down the road because the debt is so high. All right?
Yeah, they can't pay it back.
Because
remember, every time they go to the elites to borrow, all right, it's always at a higher interest rate from the previous transaction that had taken place before.
Yeah,
this transaction here we are doing.
Yeah,
the interest rate always increasing. All right,
and
because of 70-something. Go ahead.
The GDP, the gross domestic product, America is decreasing, right? Especially now due to all these lockdowns, right? All these things happening. There's no way the revenue of Babylon the Great could cover anywhere near the amount of hundreds of trillions of dollars. Right? But that's what it really is. All right, not just the expenses. We talk about the liabilities in Babylon too.
77 the well past 70-something. The well past $70-something trillion is 70-something trillion dollars, and
that's just the expenses.
The Pentagon alone. Because the Pentagon alone, part of that 70-something trillion, the Pentagon alone, their portion is about almost 50 billion and counting, because they've been borrowing for that 20 years that they've been in Afghanistan and Iraq. They have been borrowing money to keep on supplying that war effort.
Yeah, and this is what they do. This is what they do. This is the reason why they needed to have their hands on the countries with the major oil reserves, like Iran, like Venezuela, which is why they had a different insurrection. I go back to Psalm 64 again, right? Different insurrection into those countries to take control in order to artificially maintain the dead dollar, right? Because the dollar dead, the dollar is dead, and really that's what they
why they had this strategy, That's why they had this strategy, with all these conglomerates and whatnot, because they could really check it out. They could care less about the dollar. Their main focus is to make sure and charagma every man, woman, and child. That is their main thing. All right. So continuing last couple of scriptures in this scripture here, it says All right, let us verse Proverbs 1 and 13, we shall find all precious substance, we shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot amongst us. Let us all have one purse. No, when I went and checked that word purse, is I forget the number in the Hebrew, but is kisk or kisk. Yeah, kisk. All right, kisk. All right. But when you go into it, it goes into a cup or a bag that contains money. You understand? So when it says cast in thy lot among us, all right, which is all these corporations, right? Which is all these corporations, all right, coming as one, linking with the government, all right, to do what? To bring what they say, let us all have one purse, which is that one world currency. Because I say they are the ones that pushing the policies, they are the ones that bringing, they are the ones that bringing in, helping bringing this thing even faster. All right, because remember, there is not the consumers now. We just call it out because is the people is the consumers, but remember they are the ones that are providing the goods for the people to consume. Right? And how would they be able to consume? Is by that chip.
That's the only way.
Right? That is the only way. All right.
Yeah.
Verse 15, my son, walk not thou in the way with them, refrain thy foot from their path. Right? For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood, they look privily for their own lives. All right? So are the ways of everyone that is greedy for gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Right? Because these people are greedy. These people are wicked and they are greedy.
They as I say in the book of Obadiah, if thieves are broken and steal, they would have still really have enough. All right, but Esau, Edom, they'll never have enough. They had all the money and certain power, but what they want 100% control. All right, they want all the control, and that's gonna be their own downfall. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua not gonna allow it to take full effect.
Khan.
In New World Order. All right.
Khan.
Let's see how they...
Go to what do I call this? Go to Isaiah 10. Go back to Isaiah 10 and 13.
Yeah, let's go back to Isaiah 10. It's Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 13. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it. All right.
No.
And by my
no. Go up to 12.
All right, let's start from
go up to 12.
Right. Yes. 10 and 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. His
Who
pride.
is that? Like the elites. Like the elites. It's speaking about there. Yeah? Like the elites it's speaking about. All right, go ahead.
All right. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures. All right. So he robbed their treasures. All right. This is what we was talking about earlier. All right. And I've put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. Right.
All right. So what is that? That is them boasting. Or they're getting everybody to take they done rob the people already with the bringing this paper dollar business. All right, take away the gold standard and bringing this paper dollar business. Salakia, and then now they're coming to rob you even more by crashing the economy to bring in this digital currency. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, verse 14. And my hand have found as a nest to treasure the riches of the people, right? And as one gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, So that going into the new world order, all right? And there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peeped, because only the prophets say, Lord, we open our mouths, through the Spirit and nobody else really, because even those who expose them on a carnal level, they don't have any answers, all right? They don't have the answers for this, but the Lord gave us a mouth, and an understanding that surpassed that, This is very powerful here, right? So say I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peeped, and that going to our people too again. They just following the lead. They're just following the leader. Who Esau, Edom, so wicked. Whoever come out of line, they just put them to death.
Con.
And until everybody just obey. And this is what they do. I'll continue reading at verse 15.
Yeah.
It says, shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Right? Because that's really that is what they are.
They are pride. Yeah. The prideful. The prideful.
Because they're just the sword of the Lord. They're just the axe that the Lord used on your left hand side. To punish our people. Right? Or shall the sword magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up? That don't happen in real life. All right? Or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire.
Con, that's a show what the judgment that the Most High God Yahweh Hashem Yahshai has for these elites.
Con.
All right, their riches is not going to stay with them.
Con.
The riches is not going to last. Because they gotten it by ill-gotten gains.
Con. Zephaniah. See that scripture there.
Yeah, bring it out. The scripture I'm looking for here in Proverbs, boy. Lord, please help me find that scripture. It's in the 20s.
Right,
you get what you're looking for?
Proverbs 13 and 11. Let's get at it. Right, this book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 11. It say, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase.
Con.
So that just go and hit home to Esau, Edom. All right. Because really and truly, all the wealth that they get is through vanity, through enslaving Jake, for hundreds of years, and build up the whole society, building up the whole industrialization, on Jake with labor, hard labor, and intellectual property as well.
To the point now they're talking about build back better now.
Which is a affront and a disrespect, to the Most High people. All right. Brother, you have some more scriptures here too.
All right. I have this here. This Proverbs 21 and 6. It reads the treasures. I feel there's a scripture I was looking for in truth. Yeah. All right. All right. It reads the getting of treasures by this is the scripture itself. To what about Hashem Yahshai. It reads the getting of treasures by a lying tongue. All right. Is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death. All right. Because how did they get their riches? All right. How did they get where they are now? It's by lies and deceit. All right. How the Federal Reserve alone by itself was bring forth by lies and deceit. All right, fool the people. All right, and you make certain standards, and then you went back on that standard. All right. You had the gold, you had the currency backed by gold. all right, where the people could have redeemed, go back to the Federal Reserve, you know, whichever state that they're in, all right, because every state have a Federal Reserve, where they could have go and redeem. But what you do, you pass a law in the 30s, I think that was before the Great Depression or after 132. But you pass a law that it will be illegal for you to have gold on your person. All right, you know, like in a safe or what have you.
All
right, so what the people was left to do, they was left to carry in the gold. All right, the lion tell them that on a later date, whenever they want, they could come back and get the gold. But we all know that never take place.
Because they had that plan, this plan for the fiat currency, you know, from a long time, you know, and they just wait for certain opportune moments to execute, to bring forward their agenda, you know. Because with the fiat currency, it had no checks and balances. All right, gold and silver, you always have checks and balances because you can't spend more than you have. All right, what these devils do, all right, they take all your gold and silver, pack it and move it up and down between bullion banks to manipulate the price, right? To artificially deflate the price of gold and silver, which is real money, all right? So that their fiat currency can maintain its value, and people will want the fiat currency and going to rush to buy gold and silver. Yeah, this is all the manipulation of this devil, all right? You know, our Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 2, it says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. You know, and that's exactly what these devils going to get. You know, another quick scripture of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 9, it said, there's a sinner that had good success in evil things. And there's a gain that turneth to loss. So this is what's going to happen to the devil. You know?
Because they really had good success in evil things. You know, they really have good success. All right, this whole capitalist, this so-called capitalist system that they was doing, so now it reached a state of socialism and communism.
Done.
All right, because this whole new world order is actually communism in a disguise, communism and socialism being disguised.
That's exactly what it is.
All right, giving the people a false hope. All right, giving the people a false hope, giving the people a dream, a false dream. But what the scripture say about dreams? Let me go to Sirach. Sirach, I think it's 30, not 39, huh? Just bear with me. Sirach 34, it says, Sirach 34 and 1, it reads, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false. All right? And dreams lift up fools. And this goes for both Esau, Edom, and the other nations, along with 2/3 in Israel. Right? And dreams lift up fools. Whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. All right? Because your dreams and aspirations that you hope for, all right, is going to come to naught. Even the elites, all right, their dreams and aspirations is going to come to naught. All right, their dreams and aspirations of putting this whole world under a whole dystopian nightmare with the one world order and all of these things is going to come to naught. All right, it's going to come to naught. Yeah. So continuing a bit, it reads, the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. All right? of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? Because this whole situation here is something false.
Can.
And there is no truth and no logic that could come out of it to justify what they are doing.
Can. All they have is deception.
Can.
Lie compounded with lies. You know?
Pong it out for me now, boy.
You know? And that's why the scripture say, in Job 13:4 say, but ye are fathers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Alright? So this devil, all he knows how to do is lie. Alright? Present a nice smiling face up front, but behind wants to kill you, want to put you to death. Alright? This is the devil that you're dealing with. Alright? The master of deception.
That's not. Hold on there. Yeah. So like you see what you were saying there.
What I was saying is that maybe over the scripture. This is maybe get back to because
I pulled that scripture already, boy. No, you are actually I'm talking to brother Makazadi. I pulled that scripture. Why you didn't come on, Makaza? You could have come on. I really wanted you to come on.
Let me go through this one. It's Job 13:4 said, but ye are fathers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value. Right? So they are fathers of lies, and the scripture is up because right now they're pushing these waters, right? Physician or physicians so somebody can help better. So healer. All right. But what they're doing, they're putting it to death, right? Because Esau is like hell and death, right? According to Habakkuk 2:4. Right, so this devil, all he knows how to do is deceive. Deceive by his pharmaceutical, deceive by his money. And
everything is a whole deception.
Everything is deception.
Everything is a whole deception. Every single thing, a whole deception.
Can. That's who you're dealing with. Which is why
you a false. So like they're giving you a false dream. They're giving you false hope.
Yeah.
All right. They're giving you a false outlook of the future on what the future holds. All right. So like everything about them is just false. No truth could come out of them.
Anything that they say or they do, you can't trust it. Definitely not.
The scripture say trust not, never trust thine enemy.
And you say, I make the scripture, I have a scripture, 1 Timothy chapter 6:17. It says, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. Right?
In what? In uncertain riches. Well,
right? But in the living power, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. So that's why we don't trust in Esau money system, the money, whatever they had to offer, the different schemes. All right. We not stone up our treasure in this place. That's why the Lord say in Matthew 6, he said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. All right. So our treasure we stone up is in heaven. But the 2/3 now, they believe in this place, they trust in this fiat currency, in these uncertain riches. Most of them don't even know about gold and silver.
No.
Right? So the devil having
they will know about gold and silver to pour on your neck or pour on your finger.
They can't to bling. They only about the bling. That's what they're about. But they know about amassing gold or silver, which is real money. Which money is a defense. The scripture says money is a defense. But wisdom is faster past that. Faster past that. All right. So 2/3 just gonna continue to cling to this devil system, right, and continue to be deceived by this devil, right, and his beast system, right. When you want me to go, when you're ready, we'll go through the book, right?
Well, if you want, you can bring it out now.
All right, so
because we done an hour in already. So if you want, you can bring it out now.
We're going to the book Satan's Angels Exposed, chapter 25, that's page 193. The designs on power. So we're going to go through the Council on Foreign Relations, the power behind the throne. All right.
And if I could just say, now, this same Council of Foreign Relations is the same thing just as Aflaken. All right. But the thing with this here now is not just only corporations, but also certain prominent people, and even people that are even people that are not so prominent. You know, even people that are not so prominent, that people who, with the elites, those Freemasons and whatnot, they will be looking at and marking, this person has potential, and they will pull them in and give them a false hope again, a deception, and what have you, and had them thinking, because it's like that same Ponzi scheme. Remember the other day, this Council of Foreign Relations is a whole. You see the oh gosh, the thing was when the God wanted me and you to join the other day.
Yeah. Yes.
Like how that whole diagram thing that's set up.
It's basically
that whole board, right?
Scheme.
That pyramid thing, right? So good.
Yeah.
Right. So when you go and they do your research on this Council of Foreign Relations, it is the same setup, all right? The same setup where the ones who are the out, literally are the out, are the circle, or the outskirts are the circle. They are the ones. They are the lesser luminary, lesser. They are the ones who not prominent, all right? But they may have some sort of potential that the elites may be looking at, all right, and could work with, and will give and will pull you in and give you a false sense that you actually doing something good, and within your mind you think you're doing something good, as in trying to help the people, and what have you. But really and truth, and in fact, when I go deep into the circle, all right, these ones who really pulling the strings, you are actually helping with their agenda for the pressure on top and pressure below, and you ain't even knowing it.
So it's just like the secret society, like masonry. The ones at the bottom, they don't know the full agenda of the top.
Right.
They don't know the full agenda. They just know enough for them to help them get their agenda and the plan to moving forward. So it's just same way the Council on Foreign Relations, which have many members, But I'm gonna go through some of the
go ahead.
Information. So they said the Council on Foreign Relations was formed in 1921 when it became evident that the U.S. was not going to join the League of Nations. Its founder was Colonel Edward House, right?
Yeah, and he wasn't actually a colonel. He was this man, Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, he was Woodrow Wilson, right hand man. All right. He played a serious role in this Federal Reserve being set up, being put up. That Colonel House. Go ahead.
We're gonna go through that now. Yeah, House was a British education, son of a financier who had British financial interests in the U.S. House became President Wilson and man, and emerged as a emerged as a virtual president in control. House had two projects he wanted around.
Yes, now, Salakia. Read back that little part again. Where he became like a presidential. Read that part again.
President Wilson's right hand man, and emerged virtually. We say virtually the president in control. He was the one pulling the strings behind the scene. You see?
And who was the people them giving he the tools to do it? Was the elites.
Definitely.
Was the Rothschilds on them.
And if we read on
the banking families.
Yeah, if we read on a little more, we will see that. Because we come into that just now. And the Rockefeller money. You know? Yeah, so House had the two projects. One was the central banking system, which is the Federal Reserve. Right? And two was a graduated income tax. Right? You know, he was successful in seeing that both were adopted into law. Right? It was House who brought into being the Federal Reserve Act, which benefited international bankers, which we know who they are. Right? You know, the original Federal Reserve Board was largely handpicked by the Colonel House, who was an admirer of Karl Marx, right? You all know who Karl Marx is.
Yeah, he was a philosopher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Famous philosopher.
Let me see.
He was I forget, but his philosophy was actually fascist communism business in that Karl Marx. You know, when I studied that Karl Marx, that was his you know,
communism.
Yeah, his style. That was his style. But go ahead.
Yeah, let me just jump down here. It said 2 years before the US entered into World War II, 1939, Committee of Post-War Problems was initiated at the suggestion of the Council on Foreign Relations. Yet the CFR claims to be a private organization that does not formulate any policy of the government. So you see, it's a lot of hypocrisy and lies.
Lies.
Yeah.
Lies. Because a lot in the so-called, a lot in these politicians, they are part of the CFR. A lot of these politicians, they are part of this of the CFR. I wouldn't doubt if Rowley in it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising.
You understand? I wouldn't doubt it if Rowley in it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising.
Go ahead.
All right, let me continue reading. Right, ultimate goals in study number 7, published by the Council on Foreign Relations on November 25th, 1959. And in further statements by the CFR members, the following is recommended, is what they recommend. In general, build a new international order, right? A new international order must be responsive to world aspirations for peace, for social and economic change. An international order, including states or nations, they call them states, which is really talking about different nations, labeling themselves as socialist. Right? Socialist, right? Our broader ultimate objective is a universal.
Socialist is the same as communism.
The same thing,
It's the same thing.
You know?
It's just that they don't want to tell you it's communism for you to get all shaking in your boots.
That's Esau with his words too, playing games with words. You know? Playing games with his words. Alright, you know to beat around the bush, you know how to do the circumlocution. You know? But so part B said our broader objective is a universal community of nations. So that's what they're trying to do right now. Alright? Point 2, the United Nations maintain and gradually increase the authority of the UN, which was also what they accomplished, you know, together with all the other institutions that correlated, like the WHO, was it PAHO and all these other UN related
Pan American Health Organization and all that nonsense.
All that is go back to the UN, you know. Arms or tentacles of it, you know. Much more is involved, including a recommendation. Yeah. Much more is involved, including a recommendation of secret negotiations with Russia on this armament. So we know what that, because these devils know the prophecies, They know the prophecies, right? So they take in front before in front, as they say, take them, all right? So they try to work with the enemies, which is as the scripture says in Psalm 34 again, go back to that Psalm again, the heart is deep. Right, so they go into the prophecies, they try to break it down. They get a left-hand side understanding, right? And they know certain things. They know that Russia sent, so they send missiles on them. All right, so what they do? They make secret negotiations with Russia on this armament. That's why up to now they're still pushing with that. All right, because what happened is they're afraid. All right, increased foreign aid with no strings attached and recognition of Red China. All this has now come to pass. So they don't mind all the they're talking and nonsense, about Cuba being socialist and China being socialist and whatnot. They don't mind that, because that's really what they want.
That's what they want, yeah.
And that's what they want,
right?
yeah.
They're using China and Cuba as road maps.
They're
using China and Cuba as road map. Right?
Yeah.
I have a scripture here. This Isaiah 29 and 15. It reads, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" Right? Because they think that they could have been doing all these things and get away with it without anybody finding out, anybody knowing. All right? But we reach a point now, where the unicorn has gone through the whole corners of the earth, and we're finding them out and exposing. And they reach a point that they don't care if they get exposed, because they're bringing it out in your face.
Yeah, correct is right. Because and all that is because what? Let me go to Revelation 12 and 12. The brother posted up earlier. All right? Because they were warned, as we went through last preaching on the street, they were warned that that they have a short time that they will measured. Right? This is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. Why? Because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
They know
they have a short time. So right now they really have a low priority now. They know that the secrecy is out, and which was their power. They know the secrecy is going through the window. A lot of people are aware of them. All right. So now what's the next thing?
What I want to say, because because what I want to say is the whole world going through this whole city, this whole system. That's the thing, because like my internet is getting kind of a problem here. So this whole world going through this. Yeah. Right? This whole world going through this thing here where all these conglomerates within these respective nations and what have you, linking with the government and what have you, and they all fight to be on top. China fighting, China looking to see if they could, but they're moving sneaky and seeing if they could make it on top. Same thing with Russia, same thing with Babylon and what have you. So what all this, and all of them coming with the different system, so what going on is that this year is going to bring this year is going to seriously, they are going to go to war for this whole situation too.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's being lined up right now. Look at the confusion in Afghanistan. is one of the first things that chip off some of the allies, of America, because a lot of them invested heavily in Afghanistan and they didn't get the returns that they thought that they were supposed to get, Some of the US are like France, for instance, and by that, once again, we could see how the prophecies lining up, that those that were Confederates are gonna fire missiles on her. All right, they're gonna get fed up of Babylon, this war. All right, who basically only thinking about itself, and these nations fed up of it, and all of them arming up. Look what Russia went and did here, throughout the NATO office, basically close it down in Russia. All right, they don't want them in there anymore, which means things heating up.
That's scripted.
Yeah, things heating
yeah,
up.
There's Jeremiah, that was scripture here. They Jeremiah 57 put it into what it said. This is Jeremiah 51 and 7. It reads, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. The nations are angry. The nations are angry because of the policies because Babylon, they're doing one thing, they're saying one thing, but behind closed doors they're doing another. Look,
Okay, breaking up. Where you breaking up?
Place at France.
It's reception bad. See if he comes back in there.
You hear me there? You're back on point there.
You just came back there. You went for a while. Yeah, you went for a while and you just came back there. Yeah, let's hold on to see if internet clears up.
You see it, man?
Yeah, it just came back.
Alright, well, yeah, we got because how the internet getting problems, so we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2. We'll continue on into here.
Gotta wrap it off.
Yeah, Igor, let's close it off.
Yes, let me just. Yeah, any more scriptures you wanna pull? Right, so
any scripture I wanna
go to bring it up.
All right, this is James 5 and 1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. All right? Your gold and silver is conquered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Because at the end of the day, we know the fiat currency was never good anyway. It conquered, right? It's no good. It rusted, corrupted, and it's going to be a witness against them, and
it says it in Habakkuk.
All the heavy debt that they pump into the system, all that thick clay, as the scripture say, the thick clay, right? And the what you would call it, not the band, well, it's pretty much a bandage, all right? I forget how the scripture term it. Thick clay,
To cover the sores, yeah.
Yeah, to cover the sores, yeah, to cover the sores, you know, it can't
Because
cover.
this whole
It can't
this
cover.
whole monetary this whole monetary system is a big soap.
Can. The
It's a
balm,
big soap, but it can't get
can,
covered. You could try
can,
to put how much bandage upon it. It can't
can,
cover.
can, can. That is exactly it. You know, that is what they saying, see what you'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, yeah. I just want,
that
yeah, I got there because it looked like it only breaking up a lot. So we'll come.
yeah, that is so.
Can, can.
All right, so you know, so with that, all right, so with that, you say Kal Halayam La Alahaya Nawa Yahawa Basham Yahushai Basham Akaha Kodash Barakata Yahawa Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahawa Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahawa Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone at Movell. Peace, blessings, salutations unto the brothers that preaching and teaching the truth to all the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akoats. Alright, so yeah, we had a lock off there too because both internet and 2/3 now, but
Can, you don't know. Say no more, you know.
internet and 2/3 by that boy. Gosh, boy.
Yeah, we soon out of here. Wow, bad ball.
Telling you, boy. Wow, bad ball, boy.
Yeah, can.
Shalom right up. So we go try and do something Friday, Father's willing, Friday night.
Can. Yeah, can.
Alright?
Sound good, yeah.
Yeah, shalom.
Shalom.